Hi, welcome Capricorn. This is Taurus Tourist Tarot. I'm Joy, and we are doing a reading of the energy for the month of May for you, Capricorn. Yes, so again, this is really just about tapping into that life force energy that connects us all, that weaves in and out of you, me, and everyone else around us, even those that we'd like to think that we are not a part of, or that we don't want to be a part of us. For example, certain people that you could mention that are in the media or in the public eye that I would cringe about, thinking that I am one with that particular person. But I mean, the reality is that that's the way it is. We are cells in a body, and we all have our jobs to do, and we all have our jobs to do to keep the body healthy and safe, but also in tune and connected and compassionate and loving. And we have a job to raise the vibration of the body. The body that is the collective of all of us, right? That is the oneness of all of us. That's what I'm talking about. And when we raise our own, though, we also, we are by default raising the vibration of everyone else too. So yeah, and so that's what that's the life force energy that we're connecting into, that we're tapping into. Actually, we already are connected into, but then we're just kind of focusing in on it to give us the messages that we need to hear. And sometimes they are hard messages to hear, and sometimes they're a lot easier messages to hear, but the important thing is that we're hearing it, and that we are questioning, that we're looking within, and we're seeing, we're understanding that there is no separateness, and that what I do, as much as I may be, as much as difficult as it may be to really see and believe and own, the truth is that my actions, my thoughts, right? Everything is energy, and it is what is the energy? The question becomes, what is the energy that we want to be in, and what is the energy that we want to transmit to the rest of self, which is the world, right? Which is all life itself, right? All energy itself. And me personally, I want to be in a place of love, right? I want to be in a place where every action, every thought, every element of my being is coming from a place of love. And what does that, how do I get there? I get there by examining everything, every thought, being aware, first of all, right? Being aware of the thoughts, of the actions, being the observer of my own life, and examining those things and asking, were those things coming from a place of love, or was that really still coming from my ego? And if so, then hey, I need to keep my ego in check a little bit more. What can I change in my own life to be able to do that? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going off on a tangent a little bit, but it does relate to what I was feeling for you, Capricorn. And that kind of was like, I was feeling, as I was shuffling the cards, and we'll take a look at the cards itself, but I was feeling that you were, and maybe this is specific to maybe one, just a few people, I'm not sure, but in any case, this is the message that has to come across. And this is, I'm feeling that you are wanting to isolate yourself from the world. Like you're wanting to pull away from everyone and everything around you, and just kind of like isolate yourself. But I think that under some conditions, that's a really good thing. But what I'm feeling for you is that you're kind of in this place of self-pity a little bit, that is having you say that you're pulling away because you want to protect everyone from yourself. That is not a healthy place to be. First of all, everything outside self really is self, okay? So you can't run away from it because it is you. Yeah, everything outside of self is you. Outside of self is a reflection of self. So what you're seeing on the outside of you really is coming from within you, okay? And that's very important, Capricorn, for you to understand, because the only way that you are going to be able to move through these feelings of I'm really feeling like self-pity, in order for you to be able to move through those feelings, you have to understand that they do not exist outside of self, okay? They're all there within you. And then there has to be this willingness to step outside of that self-pity, and take an outside perspective and to view it all, right? Like where did these feelings come from? Why are you feeling this way? What were your past experiences that built a framework of thinking that allowed you to find yourself in this place of self-pity, okay? Yeah, okay. So what I'm really feeling from the cards right now is that, I don't know, maybe that message was really just for a few people. And so, what I think the larger message is coming through the cards is that I think the majority of you actually are really maybe possibly coming out of that feeling of self-pity and isolation. And maybe it has to do with, the current times of where we are as not just a nation, but as a world, right? Of this isolating, right? That's like the big word of this time. But feeling isolated and feeling sorry for yourself because you feel isolated, that's a very real feeling, but it's also a very dangerous place to be. Yeah, to me it's different from feeling sadness, because sadness is like something that like you have to work through, right? But feeling self-pity is almost like it is outside forces, that there's a belief that outside forces are causing you to feel this way, and there's not a real acknowledgement that feeling is coming from within yourself, and that you alone have the power to transmute it. And so that's why I feel like self-pity is kind of a dangerous place to be, whereas sadness is kind of like it's there, and there really is this acknowledgement that it is coming from within, and that you can change it, right? You can feel the sadness, you can fully feel it, and then work your way out of it. But self-pity is more of this kind of a harder thing to move out of when you're in a space of feeling that it is other that is imposing these difficult feelings upon you. Yeah. And you can't control other in that sense, right? You can't control how other people will act or react or behave or anything like that. And when you're in a place of self-pity and you feel like it's other people that is putting that on you, then that's a dangerous place, because then you feel you don't really have any kind of control over it, and the only way that it's going to get better for you is if these outside forces change. Okay, but what I really need to communicate to you is that it is nothing. Outside is a reflection of self. So when you are observing something happening outside of self, it is actually happening within self. Okay, and that's going to mean different things for different people. But the important thing to really take away from it is, what are my belief systems? What is my framework that is causing me to view that as negative and as outside self and beyond my control. Okay, when you move through that, and I feel like the majority of Capricorns are in this space, when you move through that, you can see that it is really you and you alone that is responsible for the stability and the groundedness that you create in your everyday life. Yeah, it's you're responsible for it. And this groundedness I'm feeling for Capricorns is hugely important right now. You really need to find yourself in a very grounded position. And you see this King of Pentacles, it's almost like he is blending into the earth. This, to me, like, I'm feeling the ultimate groundedness here, right? You're one with the earth. Like, you're not floating above it somewhere and kind of like, you got deep roots. You got deep roots. And this is important. And this is the deep roots of self. This is knowing who you are and standing strong in that knowing. Okay, this is hugely important. But you see here, it's also balanced with the Queen of Wands, and I really feel the Queen of Wands as this very passionate person who is also very nurturing and even sensual. And I know that's not necessarily that's like nurturing. We kind of associate more with like cups and but anyway, I feel that these two energies here are really the two energies that are grounding you and helping you to move forward in a new direction. Yeah, helping you to let go of feelings of isolation and self-pity and feelings of like people being against you or out to get you. Instead, you're finding yourself grounded in knowing who you are, knowing that you have something to offer the world, and then and being at peace and at home in that energy and in that knowing. Yeah, and this kind of foundation is really what's gonna bring this kind of love and stability into the world for you and for others. Yeah, look at these two cards. These two cards are wonderful. We have the Two of Cups, which are two people really entering into a situation, entering into a relationship, and having a connection that is really based in each of those people being full within themselves, feeling a fullness of self-love, of love for life, and just being grounded in life and entering it into full, right? Not entering into it feeling lack, right? Feeling like I need this certain person or this certain situation in order to feel like a whole person. No, this is not what this is. This is somebody knowing that they are whole just by being, right? That they are whole and beautiful and wonderful and divine just by being, right? And this is another person coming into that, also feeling that, and so that they are not taking from each other or looking towards each other or outside the self to fulfill the self. They are full, right? And that is what is building this wonderful stability, this wonderful foundation, this wonderful ability to move forward in life from a place of fullness and wholeness rather than from a place of lack. Yeah. And this is really no hard feat for you, Capricorn. And if you are not here yet, this is what you're moving towards. And I'm sure you know that it is no hard feat. And what it took was a lot of listening to the self, a lot of intuition, right? A lot of being connected, and not just acknowledging the connection, but utilizing it. Yeah. And utilizing it to build something better for yourself, utilizing it to be in a higher vibration so that you can bring things in that are of that vibration. This is the law of attraction. The magician is the law of attraction, and that's the way it works. It works by going within, discovering self, setting up huge, wonderful foundations for yourself that are really, and bringing in experiences that are based in love and wholeness, and bringing those things into your being by being those things, right? Okay, so for you Capricorns who have not found yourself in this, wonderful energy of, of real stability and passion and love for self and wholeness and manifesting, this is an incredible energy to be in. And if you are here now, congratulations, because I know it's no small feat. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of examination of self. But for those of you who are not quite in that space yet, and maybe kind of, I don't know, I just keep hearing wallowing in self-pity. I'm sorry that you're there. I feel for you. That is not a nice place to be. It's a really, really difficult place to be. But it is also oftentimes the place that you do need to be in order to kick yourself out of it and onto a path that leads you to something much, much better, much better. And that really is what is in store for you once you can move past these feelings of feeling like nobody cares for you and nobody's calling you or coming to check if you're okay, or maybe I should just, those are not really my friends. And but you have to know that other people are going through similar things too that are very challenging for themselves as well. And so if you feel abandoned or isolated and you feel this self-pity, that you have to know that that feeling is coming from within yourself, and it's only something that is within yourself that is going to allow you to move past those feelings and transmute them into something much more beneficial, and something that feels much better. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop there. So Capricorn, thank you for listening. Always remember, please, that this is a general reading. Some of the things may be for you, and please take those things if they resonate with you. But if they do not resonate with you, then they're not for you, and you can leave them behind. Okay? Good luck on this journey that we call life. We are all on our own journeys, and I hope you remember that as you come across different kinds of people. And then I hope you also remember that, others are also a reflection of self, okay? So, all right. Aloha and namaste. I love you.